In Brazil, it's been a not-so-warm welcome for President Bush on the first leg of his Latin American tour.
Thousands of protesters there, angry about the war in Iraq and leery of a deal over ethanol the president is poised to sign. He's in Sao Paulo today, expected to sign that deal. The deal will essentially cash in on Brazil's ethanol industry. Huge protests broke out in Colombia, too. President visiting there on Sunday. CNN's Carl Penhall is in Bogota.
A homemade explosive rocks a police riot truck. Hundreds of masked students run for cover as water cannons douse them. The chant is Yankees out.
So we are fighting, not only for the Bush visit, it's also because we believe that a new Colombia is possible, that a new Latin America is possible.
The interview abruptly ends as tear gas fired by the police rains down on campus.
We are fighting, men.
Radical students at Bogota's biggest public university normally reject contact with the media. But months ago I met some of their leaders, and on this rare occasion they agreed to show me the protest from their perspective. Despite that acceptance, it's a chaotic scene, making it impossible to do an on-camera stand-up. He's coming to sell us out. We're fighting against Bush's visit, this student says. A team of his masked comrades launch fireworks through PVC pipes. Another group takes aim by the wall where I'm taking cover too. Police and the government accuse communist rebels of infiltrating Colombia's university campuses. The students, though, reject the terrorist tag. They describe themselves as a mixture of communist sympathizers, anarchists, leftists and nationalists. Today they're united with one aim. This is a demonstration of Colombian dignity. We will not become the slaves of US imperialism, he says. Carl Penhall, CNN, Bogota, Colombia.
CNN's Elaine Quijano is traveling with the president. She's in Sao Paulo this morning. Elaine, good morning.
Good morning to you, Soledad. And in addition to all that, the White House insists that President Bush's five-nation tour here in Latin America is not an anti-Hugo Chavez tour. But of course, the president is trying to improve the United States image, ever mindful of Chavez's attempts to widen his influence.
Yet with much of the U.S.'s ethanol coming from corn, some Republicans say the deal could hurt America's corn growers and ethanol producers.
We need to build here in this country, not provide so that we can build it in a competing country.
Experts say the ethanol deal and the focus on Brazil play into a larger unspoken goal for the president's 7-day swing through the region.
By highlighting, for instance, President Lula, by acknowledging Brazil as the largest and most stable democracy in South America, you are in a way counter President Chavez.
Ayer estuvo el diablo aquí.
Venezuelan Socialist President Hugo Chavez has called President Bush the devil and has sought to tap into anti-American sentiment in the region. With his country awash in oil, Chavez has used that revenue to spread his influence throughout the hemisphere, feeding off what some say has been U.S. neglect of Latin America after September 11th.
Now, interesting to note, later today, when President Bush arrives in Uruguay, Hugo Chavez will actually be leading a rally of thousands, is expected, in Argentina, just across the river, basically, at a soccer stadium there. And just how to respond will be an interesting challenge for the Bush White House. Obviously, officials know that Chavez's rhetoric may appeal to some. At the same time, the U.S. is very mindful not to elevate Chavez in any way, shape, or form in its response. Soledad?
Elaine, has anyone in the White House responded to the suggestion by some people that the ethanol deal that they're working on could actually do more harm than good to corn growers?
We haven't heard anything extensive just yet. Keep in mind, this is a deal that hasn't even been signed yet between the United States and Brazil. But certainly the president's argument is that with greater cooperation between the two countries, that the United States can only benefit. The U.S. and Brazil, of course, are the world's largest ethanol producers. And the president thinks that, quite frankly, the United States can certainly benefit from some of the technologies. So look for him to make those arguments when he speaks about it later today.
All right, Elaine Quijano for us this morning in Sao Paulo. Thanks, Elaine.